Did you get it all?
Can you clap, please? This is the real one.
I'm moving.
I got it.
All right, go for it.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So the first question is, how did this get started?
The store?
Yeah.
1965, the store started in Fairview with my dad. In 1971, he felt that Fairview was getting too expensive. Fairview was one floor, our store was where the elevator was, if you know Fairview, kind of, in the middle of the Four Corners. My dad had a standalone store when the standalone store was unheard of. Now there's a standalone store in Fairview every 10 feet. But with that said, we came to this mall in 1972, and we've been in this mall since 1972.
What do you mean it's standard, like a kiosk?
Yeah, he had a kiosk in the middle where the elevator is.
In the middle where the elevator is?
Yeah, because it was only one floor, there was no elevator.
Right.
And it was kind of where the Four Corners, like where everything meets.
The intersection, yeah.
The intersection, exactly. Yeah.
No kidding.
So that's where he was. I used to run around in Fairview at like...
65, you're born in what year?
62.
As far back as you can remember, do you have memories of that store?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do have memories of the store. Big magnifying glass in the back, bigger than me. Playing in Pascal's when my dad was, too boring to stay with.
So weekends, because there were no babysitters or
correct.
something like that?
It was child abandonment. We would run around in Fairview, before anybody would think of a child getting abducted. And
Right.
yeah, sure. I would run around to any store. Like
Do you have any
little
pictures
hellion.
of that?
No, we
it's
got
too
one.
bad.
One year we had to sleep over there. The big snowstorm, couldn't get down St. John's Road.
It was no sum of 70 something.
Yeah, I had to sleep in
72,
Fairview.
or 71 or something like
It's
that.
weird. And then here moved in the back of Ted's. We're in the back of Ted's from 72 to 80. In 80, we moved to this location where we are now. In this location, the wall was just at the door, so the store was a quarter of the size it is now. And then 2005, the mall expanded, and we're the size we are now.
So you took the store that was next door.
Yeah, 1991, when hockey cards were big.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
that was when we expanded our first time. We were just to the door. We went halfway. There was a pet store in the middle that moved out, and
Right.
we took half the pet store, and the other store on the other side took half of that.
Right.
And that was because in 1991 you couldn't see the back wall. There were so many people buying hockey cards. Hockey cards were huge. Baseball cards were huge. In 1989, just before that, I started working here with my dad, and I said we should do cards. And he said, "Oh, cards will never sell." But he said, "You know what? We'll do cards, and we'll put you just in the corner over here. And if you just have do $100 a month in cards, you can keep doing cards."
Okay, so Blue Nose originally was collectibles, was
Only coins and stamps.
only coins and stamps.
Only coins
because
and
that's what
stamps.
was hot at the time.
Yeah,
I'm assuming,
absolutely,
right?
for sure.
Okay, so when did you start to bring it? Were you collecting cards, and you had the idea because you were collecting cards? Was your dad collecting?
It was a guy named Hans and myself who both started to think of, something other than coins and stamps for the store. And the thing that came to mind was cards, because we'd all collected cards. 1972. Oh, I'm gonna step off camera here and get a card.
You still have the first card, like your first dollar? Or?
Well, no, this is like a card that everybody kind of remembers from
check
the
this
collecting that. That's the 1972 card. So everybody collects cards when they're 10. So this is me at 10, and so that's the card that I wanted.
Here, keep it here. We'll get a shot
That
after
you
him
mentioned
doing
your
like
card
the rust
was
thing.
your dream card was the Valerie Burry,
Eric Lindros.
Eric Lindros rookie
score.
card. This is the Eric Lindros rookie card of that era. This is of Ken Dryden's rookie card. This is,
was it a thing though? Like
yeah, on the school
or did
bus.
it become
I've got 'em. No, you'd trade on the school bus. You'd throw cards against the wall. You'd go to school with 10 cards, come back with 100. The next day you'd go to school with 100, come back with 8. And your mom never gave you a hard time. Today, if a kid goes to school with 10 Pokemon cards and comes back with none, the mom's calling the school board and wanting to know why their kid has no cards. And with that said, that's why there's no Pokemon cards.
So tell me,
out of
the
school.
value in the cards back then, was it to have a complete pack? Was it to have a particular player? Or did you think they might be worth something one day?
I don't think anybody thought they'd be worth something someday, because then we'd all keep them. The reason we have 1990 boxes and 1992 boxes is because everybody did keep them. Everybody thought they would be worth something.
Yeah.
So with that said, 1972, nobody thought they'd be worth something. So they were worth something. Like today's records, everybody threw away their records, but today people are going back in time thinking, I wish I had that LP. And so now, because nobody thought they'd be worth something, they threw them all out. And now You can get $30 for a Pink Floyd record, you know, with $25
Right.
for a Led
Right.
Zeppelin, and $20 for any Beatles album in a second.
So now let's get to the main thing. So you had cards in the store for, let's say, about 5 or 6 years.
1989, Gretzky got traded to LA. When Gretzky got traded to LA, the whole world discovered hockey cards. Up until then, it was
Why?
only baseball cards. You got me on that.
Why was there a season that he was still in the Edmonton jersey, but he was really in the LA or something like that? Was it like a
His rookie
like a
card is
weird
in
thing like
Edmonton, which is 79.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just after this card. His rookie card was in 79.
So
but
something happened that just
they never stopped making cards. They were making cards like from 1951.
Right.
But cards became the thing to do in 1989.
But that's it. But what happened?
Why? What happened in 1989?
I mean, you must have come in one day and been like, "Shit, Dad,
Yeah.
something's going on."
Well, my dad.
Now we've done Ross and Fleer. We need to get all these
13 card manufacturers
Because
in
before that,
1990.
you were just doing
Hockey
OPG
card-
and Tops.
OPG and Tops were the only hockey cards that existed in 1989.
Right.
Yeah, in 1990, Upper Deck became the card that we all know, and Upper Deck was the king. And today, Upper Deck is the only card company to survive.
No kidding.
OPG cards are made by Upper Deck. They say OPG on them, but they're made by Upper Deck. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. Tops and OPG was the only thing that ever existed.
So what do you think happened? What do you think happened that made? Because for me, like having cards at the time, like I had a when Batman came out,
Yeah.
the original one, with WWF cards.
Yeah, sure.
Garbage Pail Kids,
Yeah.
and the other
85
one.
Garbage
What was
Pail
the other
Kids.
one that was like Garbage Pail, but it was logos and brands.
Garbage Pail and Wacky Packs.
Wacky Packs.
Yeah, that's the brands.
Man.
Yeah, those were super fun. You'd have Scorch instead of Scope.
But it was fun, and
burn
it was
your breath
fun
out.
to show your friend. Yeah, and so, but something happened where it was like, shit. Now we have to buy binders and
Well, the
sleeves
Honus Wagner
and-
was discovered. The Honus Wagner in 1988 or 89 was bought by Gretzky and Bruce McNall for $150,000.
the cigarette one.
Yes.
The one that's like.
Correct, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
The little, only that big,
That's right.
you know. And yeah, for sure, it was for $150,000. That's crazy money, you know. 1991, you buy a pack of hockey cards $4, you know, and $3. $3 was expensive. Yeah. Today, hockey card packs are $5, but back in the day, if you had a $3 hockey card pack, that was hard to sell.
So it gets hot, and all of a sudden, all these brands come in, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you've got to start buying.
13 card manufacturers because there were so many people collecting cards. They made hockey cards, baseball cards, football cards, tractor pulling cards, Desert Storm cards, anything and everything to put on cards. There was every person except the Pope had his own cards.
Could you think of anything? Was it the era that people were looking for something that was hot,
Mm-hmm.
or like things were just everything was becoming collectibles, or did cards stand out?
I think the 1990s as a decade, it was filled with collecting. Beanie Babies were in 1990. There was tons of things in the 1990s that were collectible. I think a little bit today, we're looking back and saying, wow, that was a time when collecting was so much fun and everybody wanted to do it. If you just bought one more baseball card, you'd be rich in the future. You just had to get that one last baseball card or that one last hockey card. Like, please, just get it. If you had that, then, you know, you were set for life. That was an honest feeling. There was 25 card stores in St. John's Sources in St. Charles. You couldn't throw a rock without
That's what I was
hitting a
telling
card
you.
store.
Roxanne.
Roxanne was the first. I was not the first. I was the second. But yeah.
That carried cards.
Yeah, they carried cards. We were the second card.
So
store
where would
in
you buy?
West
So before these stores
a
got
depanneur.
cards,
You'd go to a
you'd be
depanneur.
Dep.
Yeah, you'd go to the depanneur. If the depanneur bought enough chocolate or enough candy, the OPG company, which was a candy company, would give you for free, I think it was, as a promotion, 48 packs of hockey cards in a box. 48 packs of hockey cards. You would sell the pack of hockey cards with gum in it for $0.25, and you would have $9. Wow, $9 for free. That was serious. And these things would sell, no problem. And that was hockey cards.
And so that ran up to about when?
Until 1985, in 1985, baseball started to become collectible, and everybody in the States was buying their baseball cards and starting to buy whole boxes. In 1989, it started to happen in Canada. We were 4 years behind, but hockey became everything. For the first year ever, OPG printed more than Topps. OPG hockey cards in 1989 are less rare than Topps cards. Topps cards are always made less because the Americans didn't buy as many hockey cards,
Right.
and O-Pee-Chee hockey cards, which were very Canadian and bilingual, and that's the one we had to collect. For the first time ever in 1989, printed more than Topps. So the Joe Sakic rookie card, which is the famous card, you had to have that in Topps. Yeah, you had to have
89.90.
that in Topps if you wanted a valuable card.
I remember that was the year. It was just before the boom, and then because you look at the Beckett, right, and it's Topps O-Pee-Chee, Topps O-Pee-Chee, Topps
Yeah.
O-Pee-Chee. Or there was Newman. There was a Newman, or no? It was
Bowman.
Bowman. That's
yeah,
it.
Bowman was way back. There was Parkhurst way back.
Yeah.
But
And
but
then,
in the
and
70s,
then, and then you see 89.90, and you're flipping through the pages.
Oh.
All 90, 91.
91,
It was
90,
89.90. One page was a year.
13 card manufacturers. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And so okay, so when did it die? When did cards? Was it Magic?
In 1994, 95, baseball and hockey went on strike in the same year.
Right.
Those two sports things that everybody collected were no longer on TV.
The Expos' best season.
There you go. There you go.
true.
Yeah. So that's it. And when that happened, it killed sports collecting. All of a sudden, if one of these 25 stores that was surviving on selling baseball cards and hockey cards, for 6 months you had no revenue. Now, we were coins, stamps, we were hockey cards, we were baseball cards. We were very much into the non-sports cards. We had superhero cards. You could buy a Spider-Man card from us.
Right.
And the Spider-Man cards
Marvel, yeah.
didn't die with the end of sports, so there were still people coming in buying non-sports cards, like your wacky packs, like your Garbage Pail Kids. There were still people who wanted that, even though there was no hockey on TV, because they didn't care about the hockey or the
Right.
baseball not being on TV.
Right.
But 15 card stores closed down in 6 months.
What?
15 card stores closed down in 6 months. End of it. So now there's only 10 card stores, and then those ones were surviving just barely. And then hockey came back, baseball came back, and nobody cared. They gave up. They didn't collect. So then another 6 to 8 card stores closed down over the next year until there was like 4 card stores left.
And is that when
Raksan closed
Magic
down
got big?
5 years ago. Yes, Magic became the playing with cards, because up until then, if you had your card, you couldn't touch it. It had to be pristine, like you would never want to bend a corner by touching it. Oh my God. But now you're going to play with your Magic cards, and when Magic first came in, it was like I said, it was a $3.75 pack, and that was expensive. And I thought, gee, 36 packs in a box, $3.75. I won't sell these very fast. Somebody came in and said, can I get Magic? I said, do you mean like Abracadabra? And they said, no, it's a card game. And I was like, really? Okay.
Like Abracadabra.
Yeah, well, it's the first thing you think of when you hear Magic.
Yeah, I know.
It's like Abracadabra. And so with that said, we bought a
You
box.
quickly get on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
It changed.
We bought
again.
a box and it sold out, and we bought another box and it sold out, and we weren't direct yet, and Magic brought out this expansion set, and it was called the Dark, and it was $2.75, and people were telling me, oh, downtown it's only $2.50. And they would drive downtown to pick up a pack for $2.50 instead of my pack for $2.75 because I wasn't competitive.
Well, gas prices were lower at the time.
Yes, nobody would do that today for a quarter. Even if you're buying 10 packs, you wouldn't do it.
No.
So yeah, but that's the era. Oh yeah.
I was with a guy yesterday, graduated Lindsay Place in 2012, so 25 minutes ago. And I said, oh, I'm going to be at Blue Nose tomorrow. He's like, yeah, of course I know Blue Nose. Yeah, I'm going to Blue Nose to talk about the old days. So, what did you play? I'm like, what did I play? I said, I must be way older than you.
Yeah,
We didn't play anything.
So he was talking about cards, playing Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah.
So we didn't play anything because the only thing was just, I remember we come in, we see the hockey cards. It was the wall of hockey cards.
Yeah.
And I'd see a couple coins and stamps, like maybe you had some tucked in over here or something like that. I think did you have, I think the wall was here.
Yeah. Right at the door.
In
right
1991?
In 1991, we expanded to the halfway point to where the dragon sign is. But in the first part of 1991, when you were here, for sure, the wall was right there.
The counter didn't extend around there, did it?
Yeah, it was. It went around the corner to about here, halfway. And then that counter that's right there, over there, used to be an end to the counter. Yeah. And you walk into an open area. Yeah. Because I remember.
Yeah. This is two.
Right. Remember,
This is
French
number
was
two?
$25 a pack. Oh!
Of which one?
Upper
Premier?
Deck, 1990. It was 1990, right? Yeah, in 1990 they brought out French packs. Oh my God, Upper Deck French packs. People would pedal on their bikes to pedal from Gwen Boulevard to my store because I was the only guy who had Upper Deck French packs, and they were $25 a pack. 25 for one pack of cards. It was insane. And you remember your Pavel Bure? If they got your Pavel Bure French out of that, oh!
They had the high series as well.
Yeah. What's that? Pat Falloon.
Pat Falloon.
Yeah,
It was,
who cares about him now? But
It was
at
the
least
next
Valerie
season,
Burry
wasn't
remember.
it? 91, 92?
Probably. No, 1990, 91.
Pat Falloon?
Yeah, the Pat Falloon was 1990, 91. Yeah.
Because I remember the 1991 goes with
Series 2.
Belfour, Ronick,
Yeah.
Belfour,
absolutely.
Ronick,
That was series
and
1.
Jaeger. Belfour,
Yeah.
Ronick, Jaeger.
But
Those
the
were
high
biggies.
series was all about French.
And the high
$25 a
series
pack.
was Burry.
Yeah, Burry, Falloon, and Fedorov.
Fedorov
was big. Yeah.
Fedorov, I remember Fedorov was like 5. Fedorov was the big one.
Yeah.
That started pretty good, and then Jaeger was just creeping and creeping and creeping and creeping and
Well,
creeping.
Jaeger was on
then
the
he was
low
like-
set, but
was like
his
$8
best card
or
was
something.
OPC Premier. That was truly rare. I drove to every single depanneur and bought every single pack I could find at 50 cents a pack for OPC Premier. Sold them to an American.
They didn't know what was happening.
We didn't know what was happening. The Americans knew. And the Americans called me up and said, "Wayne, you got to get me every pack you can get. I'll buy them for $5 a piece." And I was like, $5 a piece or 50 cents here. And he's like, "Yeah, whatever you give me." So I bought it, sold them all to him. Thought he made a killing at $5 a piece. They were like $8.50 like 3 weeks later. And today they're still, it's a 200 card set, a $200 set for the
Premier?
For OPC Premier was at a
90-91.
factory set, the seal factory set. Now it's even now it's about $80.
Well,
you know that little factory set you have? You made a
Yeah.
factory set of that of OPC.
Well, like
Premier.
the Score one, the little blue box.
Yeah.
Score. That was a great one.
Yep, yeah. They had 5 pictures of Lindros in there, plus his rookie card.
Yeah.
And
That's why I got it, because
Yeah.
Lindros rookie card was in there.
today the most valuable card in that set is the Martin Brodeur rookie card. The Martin Brodeur rookie card's in there.
I'd have to
It's
go
not the Lindros.
I never. I buy the fucking set. I just have it sitting there like, now what the hell am I supposed to
Yeah, yeah.
do? But I have it. It's
Yeah.
there. What do I do
Yeah,
with it?
put it on a shelf and get rich later. That was the plan, right?
No, but when you're like 12 years old,
Sure.
15, 3 years away is like
Forever.
God.
Yeah.
You know, it was huge.
Today
But
we have shirts that are older than $3.
I know.
3 years.
I know. Shirts and socks. I know. Then I discovered girls. I discovered the men. Then they started liking me. At 15, I was
Sure,
like, who cares about the cards? So, so you moved here in '72. You got this store in
81. 81.
81. Okay, and then so this boom happens, and you also just happen to be. Would you could say you're the closest store to a high school in the West
Of
Island?
all the 25 stores?
There was one close to PC, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And
There
that
was,
mall.
there was one open because of PC, 100%.
It was in that mall facing
Yeah,
PC,
it didn't
I think.
exist before, and all of a sudden it existed because of hockey cards
Okay,
being so
but this
big.
is a
There's lot of
phenomenon
them.
that nothing. I can't remember anything that happened like this in the West Island, where a store would open like that,
Yeah, just to sell hockey cards.
just
and
yeah, for
baseball cards.
one item.
That's right, 100%. That's what it was. It was just to sell hockey cards and baseball cards to the kids at PC. It was across the street from them. That's what it was there for. That card store only existed for that reason.
What was it called? Do you remember?
Ooh, Reed? Jesus, we should. I don't remember the names of these stores. Yeah.
Me
There was
too.
one. There was one in the Zellers Mall, which then became the Target Mall, which now is the Walmart Mall. If you think about it, right? And there was
Yeah, yeah.
one. There was one in that
Yeah,
card.
that's
So
right.
he lasted. He was one of the last 10 to drop. Yeah, because the movie theater was there too.
Right.
So that was that was one, but the one in front of PC, forget it.
I remember finding a new store was like finding a pot of gold.
Absolutely. People would go out. This is pre-internet now, right?
Yeah.
People would go out and they would, father and son, go out to all the card stores and hit everyone on St. John's, hit everyone on Sources, hit everyone on St. Charles, hit a couple that were in Dorval. I remember there was one near where the Tim Hortons is now. And after they did all these card stores, they'd finish off their set. They would get the card that they wanted of Valerie Burry, whatever the case, or Pavel Burry, whatever the case it was, they would find that card. And today, what do? They sit in their underwear at a computer, they go blah, 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 and it gets delivered by Amazon in like 4 days, and they paid like $9 for a card that's
But
worth
you're right
$6.
though. But it someone
takes away
was,
the socialist.
yeah,
social
but someone was saying
contact.
something like this about when we used to buy records. Buying, like having your money and buying the record with your money, you have a lot more of an attachment, even if it's like Bread or a band like that, you know. But because you bought it, you have much more of an attachment than if you bought your favorite band's record on iTunes.
Isn't that interesting? I believe that.
You would
Well, the
you would
experience
feel
of
more of an
walking into the
attachment
store.
with that Bread record,
Yeah.
right? So between '89 and '94, these hockey players, if they have like a special place in like hockey history because of these fucking cards.
Right.
How
Absolutely.
would I Ronick
Absolutely.
and Belfour? And,
For sure.
But I know these guys now.
Maybe
I
not.
wonder, you know.
But Ken Dryden said it the best. He was asked when was the best era of hockey cards, and he said, or not hockey cards, hockey. And he said it was when you were 12, when you were
Right.
12, when you were 12. Because when you're 12, you know all the players' names. You know every team. They're playing. They're gods. They're not playing for money. They're playing because they like hockey, and so do you. And that's what it is. But then at 15,
right.
you discover girls, or vice versa.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
And all of a sudden, they're playing for money, and it loses its style, or its newness. It's
Authenticity.
yeah, the iconicness of it, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Certainly, it's so 10 years old to 12 years old, everybody's buying hockey cards. Still
You're
today,
right.
my target market still today, the people who come and walk in and buy hockey cards are still 10 to 12 years old.
Really?
Yeah, Tim Hortons hockey cards this year, as McDonald's was back in the day, is still a great set. McDonald's brought hockey cards to everybody in the 1990, 91, 92. The whole world wanted to collect McDonald's cards. They were only available in Canada. Oh my God, we have to get them from everywhere. And it was that's what it was.
We still have boxes in my.
I opened the
house.
card. I got the Patrick Waugh card. I went to McDonald's. They gave me the big Patrick Waugh card. Oh my God! You know?
The big one. Oh,
Yeah, remember that?
We have
It was
tons.
one in a case. You
We
have
still
tons.
have tons.
For sure, because they weren't all clean.
I think I used to jack a couple from my dad's boxes.
Yeah, you
I'd
could
say
sell that in
I'd
a
say
day.
they're pretty compressed.
Yeah.
If I take one out, you can't really tell.
Yeah.
Didn't lose anything.
Yeah, there was. I
Take
think
one
there was
out, and I
one
used
in the
to
middle of
come-
every case.
I used to come and I used to bring. Maybe that's how I paid for my freaking cards. I'm thinking, how was I able to buy all these cards? Was I grabbing like 5 cents here and 10 cents there, something like that, waiting so I can come, so I can play pack words and lose the whole goddamn thing? Oh God! Like we were saying on the phone, grade 7 and 8s can't come down anymore. But
Yeah,
what was
but-
it like in 1991?
Yeah, in 1991, as soon as the school was over, you went down to the card store. You went to the shops, and everybody went to the shops. So this was the shops. John Rennie this was always called the shops, and at one point this was outside. You walked in 1981. You walked out that door. You were in the parking lot. You know, so this is an indoor mall now, but back in the day, not so much. And you go to the laundromat if you wanted to go inside. But with that said, people would come down here. We're very close. We're a 5-minute walk from John Rennie, and we're a 7.5-minute walk from St. Thomas, which is also Felix Leclerc. Which
How do you know that? 7.5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's for sure. The kids tell me.
Oh, really?
You know how I know? Because they look at their watches and they say, "We got 6 minutes to
you're
get back.
right.
We got to run." Okay,
Right.
but if they had 5 minutes to get back to John Rennie, they were in time. But if they had 6 minutes to walk to St.
Absolutely
Thomas,
right.
they'd have to run.
I knew it took 4.5 minutes to smoke a butt. It's true.
You know, so
It's true.
this is it. I mean, this is the reason
Through
why
that
we
through
know
the
this.
forest.
Yeah, exactly.
path was there in
for
your
John
day
Rennie,
too?
you're running
Same
through the
thing?
forest. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember somebody stole a Spider-Man hologram from me, and I chased the kid out the door, all the way up the hill, halfway through the forest. By the time I caught the kid, I was ready to have a heart attack. But I was going to catch that teenager no matter what, and I ran and I caught him. I grabbed
this is
him.
you as an adult.
This is me as an adult
Oh,
in 1991,
I thought
92.
you were a kid.
No,
You think that
1991
too?
too. In 1991, 92,
91,
somebody
92?
stole a Spider-Man hologram with maybe $5, and I ran.
It's the principle.
It was totally the principle.
Because how else is he gonna learn?
Yeah. And I shook that kid, and I said, "Don't ever do that again." And I let him go, and that was it. And it was.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And I
In your day, was
But-
it paved, the hill?
No, it was dirt going up to the top of. Now it's all very fancy. You walk through,
Yeah,
and it's
you
all
see it?
wooden and everything.
I know
yeah.
there's paths now.
Yeah, but no, back in the day it was all dirt. And I ran up that hill like as fast as I could, and he ran up faster. And
Right up.
but I got him before he got to John Rennie. But it was he was 2/3 of the way there, and I was, we caught him. And it was fine. It was, it was just life back in the day.
So
but,
tell me about lunchtime. What
yeah,
lunchtime
lunchtime here
happened
would be packed with kids. In 90, 91, and 92, and 93, and 94, that's all it was. You could not see the back wall with how many people were in here buying cards. If a card was worth $100, you could come in here and I would buy it from you for sure. If the card was worth $5, kids used to come in from John Rennie and buy chips at Vienna Pastry and then bring me the hockey card that was inside the middle of the chips, and I would give them a dime or a quarter depending on who they had, and the chips only cost 50 cents. So it was like a really good deal for the kids because they
That's
didn't
the
care
one
about
on the
hockey
corner,
cards.
or the one that does not exist anymore?
No, Vienna Pastry. It's still here.
What was the other one called? The little diner that was there.
right next door to us. Right next door there was a Ben's hot dogs.
With the two arcade games in the
That's
back.
correct, absolutely. And
Do
there
you
was a
remember that?
Woolworths before that. There was Woolworths was here even before
That
the mall
diner was
expanded.
perfect, man. I mean, to go to high school, to come down to the shops, and they've got that. You get hot dogs
Yeah.
and French. Coming from elementary, right? It's a
Sure.
big thing. What elementary school did you go to?
Lakeside Heights, which is right beside John Rennie.
Lakeside High would
Yeah.
turn into the French school.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
My
okay.
kids went to Greendale, which isn't even called Greendale anymore.
I went to
so-
Greendale.
There you go. I went to Greendale for kindergarten, and then they
Did you
transferred
really?
me.
Do you have any memory?
Well,
Do you remember the pit?
Yes, of course. The pit's closed now.
Pit's closed now. Was
yeah.
it closing in your kids' days?
No, they closed it during my kids' days in there. Yeah,
What
the
did they
pit,
do?
and I was
What
like,
did they
how
do?
could they do that?
I
Yeah.
know. It takes one kid to fall. One.
In
you know
today's
what?
world, back in the day, if you
Get him
fell,
out of
it
the
was
school
like-
then.
Yeah.
Keep the pit. Get him out of the school. Damn it. But the pit was amazing.
Yeah.
That's where we
Any
took all
system.
our class pictures.
All right, so here at Blue Nose, we have just about anything you could possibly want as far as collectibles, and I'll buy anything collectible. What do we have? We have anything to do with coins, putting your coins away, telling your coins' values, and many coins. We have stamps, anything you want to do with stamps, put your stamps away.
Let's go. Stamps,
Yeah,
cards. stuff.
cards. I have records now. I have Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies were humongous back in the day. I have all the hockey cards, all the baseball cards, memorabilia, signed jerseys of Patrick Waugh, signed pictures of Maurice Richard. I have every Magic card back to Legends, which is pretty old. I have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Back to Blue Eyes White Dragon. I have Pokemon. I sold a first edition sealed pack of Pokemon for $375 US. That's insane.
What
The
a
original
nerd.
pack of Pokemon. Yeah. I have Dinky cars. I have Super Nintendo, original Nintendo. Yeah, all the video games from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 4. That
Sega
became very big.
Sega Master System. I saw you have
Sega,
a couple Mega Master System.
Atari, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Genesis's.
Rock Band.
NES.
And like I said, anything collectible. There's certainly, people that collect bottle caps, beer bottles, pencil sharpeners, keychains that are collectible. If it's collectible, it's here. It's definitely that's what we could say is that we've been here since we said that we've been here since 1972, and I think the reason that Blue Nose is still here for all this time is because we can adjust faster than the big stores. We were the first to have spinners.
Why?
We were the first to have pods.
What's the magic of that adjustment? How come that adjustment exists? What is it?
I think it has a lot to do with my dad's ability to not say let's not do it and do the exact opposite and say let's give it a shot. To throw money into spinners, which my dad's 77 years old and do nothing about spinners, and I came back from Hong Kong and said that we have to have spinners, and in May of last year we bought 5,000 spinners, and my dad was like, holy crap, what are we doing? But my dad was the first person to bring Beanie Babies into the store and said these little stuffed animals are supposed to be really hot, and we were selling thousands I sold one Beanie Baby for $3,500. There's a money thing for you. And today, Beanie Babies are fun to have, but they're not the valuable thing that they were before. People don't believe in. I don't think people believe that this hot thing is going to be hot forever, and that's the way to think of it. I think.
Right.
Things will be hot, but nothing is hot forever. Bitcoins are hot, but they're not going to be hot forever. But people keep believing in it. There's certain things that people I don't know. I just don't think that the forever is nothing goes like this.
We're becoming more aware of that. Maybe,
Yeah, we're becoming
because
more
of the
aware of
internet. Because things.
Yes. Furbies was a gotta have thing before Christmas. There wasn't a way to get a Furby before Christmas.
Right. That's true.
You had to buy a Furby at Toys R Us. I remember when somebody came in to me and sold me Furbies for $40-50 when they were originally like 20, and I sold them for 75. And the person who bought it before Christmas thanked me, shook my hand, and oh, thank God you had a Furby. My kid will be so happy. Today, nobody does that to me anymore. It'd be nice that somebody shake my hand and say my kid will be so happy again. But that when you bought a card, the excitement, the exhilaration, it's not the same. You pointed it out with the records. You know, buying it online, it does not give us the same feeling of going to the store and getting something that you just can't find. Or
Finding it in the store.
Yeah.
They have it available. Going, buying it, bringing it home, opening it up,
Yeah.
and
Now what do
you
people do? They
sure.
go on the internet. Okay, it's at such and such a location. I'll have it sent to me. You
That's
know?
it.
And that's the exhilaration, I guess, of finding it on the internet. But